Hello, it's Clubhouse, the gas journalist again. I'm here now to talk briefly about what I perceive as some inefficiency in the National Health Service of the UK. I mentioned in my earlier video that UK salaries do not allow for high rents, or for the high rents rather, especially in London. Many UK sectors have been on strike recently, including the medical profession, and it is my understanding that many doctors are struggling to pay rent, not just because of the salary, but because they really are very high. And this is unsurprising to me that they cannot pay these rents because they've been extremely high for as long as I can remember. Plus there seems to be also a shortage of rental properties in the UK capital. So can it be that a UK doctor is unable to afford a good quality of life here? I feel that there are glaring inefficiencies in the NHS that were they not there, then there would be perhaps more doctors available on the one hand and or higher salaries for the doctor. On the other hand, there would be higher salaries for the doctor. The press talk of incredibly long waiting lists for medical appointments, yet some nurses, contrary to what you might think by these long waiting lists, seem so keen for extra hours they actually call you even when there is no appointment booked and when you couldn't possibly want an appointment. And psychiatric hospitals are awash with so-called occupational therapists and nurses with other such titles such as care coordinators. And these are all sort of types of nurses apparently. The efficacy of such individuals is severely under question by me, from my experience. For example, they are clearly lacking the skills necessary to give benefits advice, and yet they try to do so as part of their job. One such nurse, in the form of an occupational therapist, nearly left me in debt, would have left me in debt had I not checked something with the Department for Work and Pensions. Whilst others wasted time trying to get me a freedom pass when I was sure I was not eligible, and even tried to tell them this. And had I actually ended up with a freedom pass, I'd have had no control over why I got it, and I might have had to repay the money. Luckily, that didn't happen, and luckily I didn't need one. I also have reason to believe that they may also be misusing patient transport, and I have complained about this to the PALS department of Springfield Hospital. I will discuss in a later video about life on the psychiatric ward, and discuss in more detail the following, which is that when I was on the ward, I was forced to have a one-off clean of my flat, and this was completely unnecessary. They didn't tell me which company was responsible, and there were certain issues with the flat that I may have been able to claim on insurance but didn't want to pay the excess. I think that some of these nursing services and adult care programmes cannot possibly be expected to be covered by NHS insurance, and as such they seem to be a rogue aspect of the NHS that really needs to be clarified and brought into a more efficient and more open discussion of whether these services are truly necessary. Because although the patients are unwell, they might feel they want the services, but they certainly won't want to be out of pocket, for example, by someone giving the wrong benefits advice when their insurance won't cover any kind of lawsuit pending about this benefits advice. They won't get the money back. Thank you.